trying to keep my feet on the ground. I'm getting to like this feeling I find. I'm getting to love the thought of having you around. And I will never let you go. I'm trying to keep my feet on the ground. I'm getting to like this feeling I found.
Hello race fans and welcome. This is stop number 24 of the Mobil 1 Nationwide Series. The season is slowly drawn to a close as we are here at Kentucky under the lights for the Louisville Cardinals 400. Now last week our points leader Cole Dalley came out on top, just beating out over Alex Jones. Now Cole Dalley, he extended his points lead to 22 points over second in standings Kyle Thomas. Now, Cole Dalley, he's going to have some work to do, and he's going to start this race from the 38th position, but don't let that count him out. Look where he started last week. He ended up winning the race. Kyle Thomas, second in points, as I was mentioning, he's going to start from the 20th position. And speaking of starting, on the front row, we have Dylan Young, who's on the pole, and starting right beside him is Jessica Shelton in the 19. Dillon Poteet, after winning at Atlanta and his good finish last week at Kansas, he jumped up to 5th in standings. He's proven to be a real championship contender, but not too far behind him. 1 point behind him in standings, Tim Fiegel. He's going to start this race right there from the 8th position. What will happen here for the hometown boy, Dillon Poteet? We're about to find out as we're about to hear those famous words.
Drivers, start your engines!
Alright boys, just like we talked about in the meeting, what's going to pay off for us today is patience and consistency. Good smooth racing on the racetrack, and that's what will take us up to the front. We'll be there at the end of this thing.
And as the cars are slowly rolling off pit road, here is your starting lineup for the Louisville Cardinals 400.
Can you get me close enough to be inside of the action? Can you show me all the power of the pride and the passion? Wanna feel the thunder and the thrill of the ride, cause I feel alive with speed on my side. Yeah, I wanna be there. Put me right in the middle of the thick of it all. If they don't give me room, well then I'll give them the wall. I'm gonna smoke my tires when the victory calls. I'm gonna be there, be there. I wanna see my fist up on the jumbo screen. Feel the white hot metal of a winning machine. Because you win or you lose and there's no in between. I wanna be there, be there, be there. I wanna lose my voice screaming with the crowd. Know my driver's gonna win and make me proud. From the pre-race party, gonna go insane when I'm right down with them in victory lane. Yeah, I wanna be there.
And oh man, just before we get to the start of the race, it looks like Eric Burton, he's losing his engine. He was going to start this race from the 26th position, but he has to hurry up and try to get to the apron of the racetrack. But Trent Duncan and Carson Beightol are in the way. I really hope that this doesn't bring out a caution as the pace car is leaving pit road. They really should stay out an extra lap, but I don't think they're going to. Dylan Young, Jessica Shelton, Nick Pericles, and Kris Wascher. That's our top 4 as the green flag is out, and I really hope that Eric Burton can get out of the way. He seemed just fine leaving pit road, but I guess just as they got onto the track, he heard some engine knocking, so that's a really tough break for the 16 team. Heading out of turns number 2, Nick Pericles, he's trying to break away in second, but here comes Derek Engel in the 25. Derek Engel, he dropped way down to 21st in standings over the first part of the season. He appeared to be a top contender for the championship, but that doesn't look like to be the case now, as he just got passed by Charles Sanford in the 33, and oh man, they almost went 4 wide, but Charles Jackson had to back out of it, and that's gonna make him lose a ton of spots. Right now he's going 3 wide with Steven Gonzalez and Dillon Poteet, the hometown boy. He's already trying to get his second win of the season after waiting all season to win at Atlanta. And right behind him is Tim Walls. Tim Walch, he has a real bad history of taking out drivers, so I don't know. He doesn't appear to be targeting the 17. Headed back to the front, it's still all about Dylan Young. And Eric Burton, he's shown to not even start the race. So that's a real tough break. He's going to finish in 40th. Not even shown on the race ticker as Charles Sanford. He really got a good run on the inside. He's trying to close in on that number 85 Camaro. As we now see Michael Norman and Danny Wells trying to work together on the inside now. Danny Wells trying to get to the inside of Derek Engel in the 25. And there's a little bit of separation. Pace car. Tim Walsh, he's shown in the 6th position and running 7th right now is Nathan Hudson. And here comes Daniel Day. Daniel Day getting past Alex Ferranti to get into the top 10. And oh boy, we're having a battle for the lead. Charles Sanford, he'll lead that lap after taking the lead away from Dylan Young. Speaking of hometown boys, let's find our other hometown boy who won at Daytona earlier this season, James Qualls. And oh man, he started this race for the 39th position. He's already moving his way into the top 20. And oh man, he's trying to get behind James Silverfox. Oh man, James Qualls right now, he's third in the standings. He's a man on a mission right now. He's already trying to get behind his fellow hometown boy, Dillon Poteet. Let's ride on board with the 70 car. Here tonight at Kentucky. We had an accident somewhere, and lead him to the line was Dylan Young. Let's see what happened. And oh no, the points leader, Cole Dalley, last week's winner. Oh, this is not what he needed. And it looks like Sean Henley, he's got some damage. And oh boy, Kris Wascher, he's got some real damage. And Jessica Shelton, oh boy, it may have involved the 19, but I don't see any damage on her car. And oh man, Charles Jackson, 9th in standings. He's got some left side damage. Joseph Lombard, he has rear damage, and I don't see anyone else with damage. I think that may be it. And we already got some drivers taking pit stops, and we got one driver trying to roll the dice. That's Chris Darlington in the 41. What could he be planning? I'm not sure, but while the drivers are taking pit stops, let's see what happened to bring out our first caution tonight here at Kentucky. Stay tuned. Well, here's having to bring out our first caution. Heading into the entrance of turn 3, Cole Dalley got a huge run, but I guess he couldn't really control the car. And up on the high side, Sean Henley, he got into the right front of Joseph Lombard, but Cole Dalley, he slides into the 54 and the 20. Charles Jackson, he had nowhere to go. As the 4 of them, they just slide completely into the wall. And Joseph Lombard, he came down right in front of Kris Wascher and Jessica Shelton. And oh man, that just sent them all for a span. And Joshua Collar, he had nowhere to go. He tried to go on the high side to avoid Kris Wascher, but he gives a tap to his good friend Jessica. But oh man, real tough race. You don't really see mistakes like that, and by the points leader nonetheless. Oh boy, if Cole Dalley doesn't rebound, that may just take away a huge chunk out of his points lead tonight. And here we are back at Kentucky getting ready to go back to the restart. Right now, they're heading into turn 2. No cars dropped out after that accident. Our new leader right now is Chris Dalton, who's really trying to roll the dice here. He was the only driver to not come down pit road. Second place right now is Charles Sanford. Danny Wells is 3rd. 4th, Dylan Young. 5th, Nick Pericles. 6th is Tim Walch. 7th is Nathan Hudson. 8th is Kyle Sosnoski. And rounding out the top 10 are the hometown boys, Dillon Poteet and James Qualls, trying to represent for Kentucky. Running 11th right now is Alex Jones. Maybe he could try to get some redemption after losing last week to Cole Dalley. And speaking of Cole Dalley, he's going to restart this race, and there he is. He's going to restart this race from the 33rd position. Chris Dalton was the only guy who didn't come down pit road. Everybody else behind him has fresh rubber, but how would that affect his chances of winning this thing? We're about to find out as we're having the restart. And oh man, Chris Dalton, he's already trying to pull away from the pack. Here comes Danny Wells on the charge. He's making a move to the inside of Charles Sanford. He's trying to close the gap behind Chris Dalton, and here comes our pole sitter Dylan Young being pushed by Nick Pericles. Nick Pericles, he's still trying to get his second win of the season. His teammate Tim Walch is trying to get behind him. They're having a battle for the lead now. I believe those worn tires are beginning to show their effects as Danny Wells, he's taking the lead now. And at number 12, Don Challenger, Nick Pericles, he's coming to try to spoil the party. Danny Wells, he's yet to capture his first win yet, but Nick Pericles, he's trying to get his second. He won way back earlier this season at Bristol. And oh man, he's all over the back bumper of Danny. As we now see Alex Jones, he's trying to get to the top 5 now. And James Qualls, he's trying to help him out. Lyndon Wright in the 43 with the help of Dylan Young. He's trying to get around the 17 and the 33. And here comes Seth Cole. We haven't talked about Seth Cole all night long. He's 7th in standings. A good run here would definitely help him out in the championship hunt. He's being pushed by Michael Norman. And here comes Cody Llamas right now, 4th in standings. He's trying to get into the top 20, and he's trying to get around Kyle Sosnoski to do it. Heading back to the front, we now see Danny Wells on the high side, and our new leader right now is Nick Pericles. But here comes Alex Jones and the hometown boy James Qualls. James Qualls trying to capture his second win of the season. We're about to pass the halfway mark. Well, we're on the halfway lap right now. As you see Nathan Hudson all over the back bumper of the 70 car trying to get that inside run. It looks like Nick Pericles, he's trying to break away from the pack, trying to show that dominating fashion he had way back at Bristol. No one could catch the 42. And Alex Jones, he's trying to change that. He had a dominating car last week, and Alex Jones right now, he's actually tied for 11th in standings with Nick Pericles. So both of these guys, they're right now 11th in standings. Alex Jones still trying to get his first win as we now see James Qualls still hanging on in the 3rd position. Let's check up on our points leader Cole Dalley and see if he's advanced some. And it doesn't appear so. That damaged car is really taking a toll on the 7 car. And he's going to cross the line in the 37th position. So a real hard day. And Chris Dalton's coming down pit road. And oh boy, Chris Dalton may have just paid the price because now he's going to be a lap down by the leader Nick Pericles. Alex Jones still trying to do whatever he can to chase him down. He's closing the gap slowly. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, they need to try to work together, but Nathan Hudson, he's trying to look on the inside of James Qualls. Seth Cole now running up in the 6th position now. He really needs a good top 5 or even a win. He hasn't won a race since Ricky Raceway. Charles Sanford in the 33 came in the race mid-season. He's about to get passed by Seth Cole. And here comes William Duncan. We haven't talked about William Duncan as of late either. William Duncan started this race in the 18th position, and he's getting into the top 10. He's trying to get around Michael Norman. And oh boy! And oh no, Nick Pericles! He's up in smoke! Oh no, Nick Pericles has lost an engine! He has blown up! Oh no! And oh man, and he was the leader of the race! Oh, man, this is just like last season. Last season in the Mobil 1 Nationwide Series, Alexander Dawson drove the number 5 while he was leading the race, and he blows up. Oh, man, real tough break for Nick Pericles. It's that situation all over again. And that's going to cycle the lead over to now Danny Wells. And, oh, man, they're 3 wide for second. Oh, man, where did that come from? I missed that battle. And, oh, man, now we see, oh boy, contact between the 14 and the 89. That was close. But that's going to make Seth Cole go to the extreme high side. And they're going 3 wide for second place again. Alex Jones, Michael Norman, and Tim Walch. And that's going to allow Danny Wells to just cruise away. Oh, boy. But the question is, do these guys have to come back down pit road? We almost had a wreck. I'm surprised that they didn't wreck when Nick Pericles lost his engine. And it turns out to be a broken header. Real tough break for the 42 team. And oh boy, there was some contact between James Qualls and Dylan Young. And here comes Tim Fiegel now on the inside. Where did he come from? 6th in standings. And oh boy, real top contenders for the championship. They're all coming up here. Tim Fiegel trying to get around James Qualls, but he didn't have the inside run. Tim Fiegel, he's trying to become the first Mobil 1 Nationwide Series driver to win 3 times in a year, but he's about to get passed by Alex Jones. The laps are winding down, and it's still all about that guy right there, Danny Wells. And oh boy, I think I just saw the yellow lights. Is the caution out? Yes, it is. Yes, the caution is out. And oh boy, I bet that is not something Danny Wells wanted to see. The caution is out, and there's the pace car. What happened this time? There's smoke. Oh no, Sean Galligan. Oh man, Sean Galligan cannot just catch a break. The hood is just scrunched up on that McDonald's number 94. Justin Lombard's on pit road, as well as Justin Perry. Jessica Shelton's on pit road, Trent Dunham, Evan Wayne. And oh no, second in points, Kyle Thomas, he's involved. Oh man, he's got some rear damage. Oh man, the top 2 in points today have run into trouble. And I'm trying to see who else. Oh no, Aaron Williams, he has damage. Daniel Day has right side damage. Charles Jackson, oh man, 9th in points. Josh McCollar, he's leaving pit road, but what does this mean? Oh man, I'm not sure. As the leaders are coming down pit road now, I don't know if Chris Donaldson's gonna take the wave around to get his lap back. I'm not sure. Carson Beightol staying out. Derek Engel staying out. Cody Llamas is staying out. Michael Norman, Dylan Young, Alex Jones, James Qualls, and Danny Wells are staying out. I don't know if this is good strategy by these guys, but I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh boy, this race might end under caution, or we may have a 1-lap shootout. I'm not sure. We're going to have to check and see, but stay tuned. We're going to have to see what happened to Sean Galligan and the rest of those other drivers. Now, before we go to see what happened to bring out our second caution of the night, this is what happened to Nick Pericles. Heading into the entrance of turn 1, he just blew his engine right in front of Alex Jones and James Qualls. And Alex Jones, he quickly had to decide to go straight to the inside. And oh man, and Nick Pericles knew he had to get out of the way to avoid all of the faster cars. So he goes to the extreme high side, and that's really good driving by the 42. If he really didn't think that fast enough, that could have really been a big accident. But oh man, real tough break for Nick Pericles. He led a few laps, he got out in front of Alex Jones, and to have that happen to him, that is just unbearable for the 42 team. And here's what happened to brought our second caution. Heading into turns 3 and 4, the same spot. This is really a trouble location at Kentucky. But Kyle Thomas just gets a bump from Joshua Collins, and that's just sends him sliding straight into the wall, right into the safety barrier. Now, at this point, the caution is not out because that light is still green up there. Well, now it's out. Now the caution is out, but oh man, Kyle Thomas and Aaron Williams, he tried to avoid on the high side, but there just wasn't enough room, and he just slams hard into the 11 car. And look at Charles Jackson, his teammate. Oh man, just look at the hard impact from the 20. And Sean Galligan, he thought he was home free, but there was just no way he could get around there. And Jessica Shelton just gave a tap to Galligan for some reason. Okay. And oh man, real tough break for all these guys. Kyle Thomas, Aaron Williams, Sean Galligan, Charles Jackson. His car comes to rest in turn 4. Jessica Shelton was able to drive away. I think she came down pit road as soon as the caution came out. But, oh, man, real tough break for all these guys here. Okay, here we are with an onboard camera look on the number 5 of Kris Wascher. Here we are with the onboard camera of Kyle Thomas. Two hard impacts on the 11 car, and that's not what Kyle Thomas needed. No doubt he's probably going to drop in the standings now. Now here we are with one final onboard camera with Sean Galligan. Oh, man. If Charles Jackson never would have hit the 11 car, Sean Galligan would have gotten past that. But bad luck strikes the 94. Here we are back at Kentucky. We're going to get set for a green-white checker. A green-white checker to end this race. Now pit stops have completely cycled the field. Cars that have dropped out of the race after that are Justin Perry, Sean Galligan, Charles Jackson, Aaron Williams, and Kyle Thomas. Now, our new leader right now is Drew Austin. Pit stops have definitely scrambled up the field, and the leaders that decided to stay out, they are now at the back of the field. Our new leader right now is Drew Austin. Alex Ferranti is second. Trent Dunham third. Fourth is Tim Walch. Fifth is Joseph Lombard. Sixth now is Evan Wayne. Seventh now is Seth Cole. Eighth is Nathan Hudson. Ninth is Lyndon Wright. Running out the top 10 is Joshua Collard. Now, a lot can happen in 2 laps. Now, this is a crucial moment for Drew Austin. Drew Austin right now, he is so low in points right now. He is 29th in points, and he has yet to win. Alex Ferranti right now, this could be, he's actually tied for 7th in points with Seth Cole. So if Alex Ferranti could win here, no doubt that'll give him a boost. But he has 2 laps to get around the 99. But don't forget, Chris Dalton, he's back on the lead lap, but he is shown all the way back in the 32nd position. But what's going to happen here? The green flag is out. Green-white checker. And oh man, Alex Ferranti, he's trying to do whatever he can to get around that 99 car. But don't forget his good buddy Trent Dunham. And oh boy, Tim Walsh, he was forced on the outside, as well as Seth Cole. And oh man, that man just won their chances. And here comes Trent Dunham on the inside of Alex Ferranti. That is not what he needed to happen. And oh boy, I bet there's going to be a big smile on the face of Drew Austin right now, as we're about to hit the white flag. And Drew Austin, he's about to put Chris Dalton a lap down, but that doesn't really matter right now. Drew Austin, he's trying to use Chris Dalton as a pick. And Chris Dalton, he just lets him go. Now Chris Dalton, he's in between Trent Dunham right now. He's in between first and second, and that's pretty much going to seal the deal. Coming out of turns 3 and 4, we have not talked about this guy all race long, but Drew Austin, he will take the checker flag here at Kentucky, and he wins the Louisville Cardinals 400. Drew Austin captures his very first Mobil 1 Nationwide Series victory here at Kentucky under the lights. He will take the Louisville Cardinals 400. And oh boy, I bet Drew Austin can clearly thank Chris Dalton for the assist of that victory. Trent Dunham in the 28 ends up in second place. Third is Alex Ferranti. Fourth is Evan Wayne. Good run for him. And how about Joshua Collard? He was involved in the very first caution, and he ends up with a top 5. And he already came down pit road. And oh man, I'm trying to get to the pace car, and we see Dillon Poteet run out of gas. And he will finish today in the 14th position. Anyway, back to the pace car. Louisville Cardinals 400. And that race is in the books. Drew Austin relied on a lap car, and he used that to his advantage to capture his very first Mobil 1 Nationwide Series victory here at Kentucky. I already said on top 5. Nathan Hudson, he ends up 6. Joseph Lombard with a damaged race car that looks like a crushed Monster Energy can. He ends up 7th. Kyle Sosnoski, 10th in standings. He finishes 8th. He's actually, I believe he's the highest finishing chase contender. That would be the case. Tim Fiegel, he ends up 9th, and he's 6th in standings. Kyle Sosnoski, he's 10th in standings. And rounding out the top 10 is Lyndon Wright. Tim Walch fell back to 11th. Jay Wakefield ends up 12th. We haven't talked about him all day. Seth Cole and Dillon Poteet both in the top 10 in standings. They finished together in 13th and 14th. And rounding out the top 15 is William Duncan. 16th, Daniel Days. Then it's Steven Gonzalez, James Silverfox, Danny Wells, who was one of the first guys that came down pit road. He ends up 19th. Real tough break for the 12 team. He was really going for the win, but they all had to come down pit road under caution. They couldn't make it. If that caution ever would have came out, they would have definitely probably ran out of gas close to the final lap. James Qualls rounds out the top 20. And then it's Kris Wascher, Alex Jones, Charles Sanford, Cody Llamas, Michael Norman. That's the top 25. And then it's Derek Engel, Paul Sutter, Dylan Young, Jessica Shelton, and Sean Henley was actually the last car on the lead lap. Then Ryan Acosta in the number 30. He finishes 30th. Points leader Cole Dalley that was involved in that wreck earlier. He ends up 31st a lap down. Carson Beightol and Chris Dalton, he fell back to the 33rd position, and then from 34th on to 40th, even though 40th is not shown, we have Kyle Thomas, Aaron Williams, Charles Jackson, Sean Galligan, Justin Perry, Nick Pericles, and Eric Burton, who didn't even make it to the green flag to start this event. But, oh man, Kentucky definitely showed no favors here today, but Drew Austin capitalizes. Well, the races are winding down. We're now in the process of our final 6 races of the season, but what's gonna happen in those 6 races, we'll find out shortly. But congratulations one last time to Drew Austin for winning here at Kentucky, and we'll see you next time.